It was reported a couple of months ago that Kurt Busch was talking to 23XI about a potential ride, a second car at 23XI. Well, today it has been confirmed Kurt Busch will join 23XI Racing in the second car, will be teammates with Bubba Wallace in 2022. Of course, 23XI Racing is the new NASCAR Cup Series team owned by NASCAR Cup Series driver, three-time Daytona 500 champion Denny Hamlin, and also NBA Hall of Famer, NBA legend, six-time NBA champion, all these numbers and accomplishments that he's had, Michael Jordan. Of course, when that news broke last year, huge shockwave sent throughout NASCAR that Michael Jordan was becoming a co-owner for a NASCAR Cup Series team. And now we've seen this rumor. We've known that they wanted to expand. Denny Hamlin has posted pictures on his social media of potential expansion of 23XI, whether it be their offices and whatnot. Well, now it is starting to happen. Kurt Busch, the one-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, Daytona 500 winner. He's been racing. I think they said next season is going to be his 22nd season in the Cup Series. Will be racing in the number 45 Toyota Camry. Now, we've also got some other news within the news that was released today. Not an official NASCAR release, but with the pictures shown and the video clips shown today by 23XI Racing, Kurt Busch, with this announcement, it basically confirms by NASCAR that the numbers will be moved for 2022 on the next-gen car. They will not be slid backwards like talked about earlier. A report came out earlier this month, maybe last month, that the numbers they were thinking about moving the numbers forward rather than backwards. Well, as you can see by the pictures, they opted with forwards. I am still on team don't move the numbers. They are fine where they are. I mean, there are people that are going to scream and freak out. I'm not watching NASCAR anymore. They moved the numbers. I mean, if you, whatever you want, obviously you can do what you want. I can't control that. But I think not watching NASCAR because they moved the numbers, I don't think that's the smartest mindset. But I don't agree with it. But I'm going to have to deal with it as a NASCAR fan. I would rather them not move the numbers. But back to Kurt Busch, 23XI Racing. When we talked about this rumor a couple of months ago, the biggest point of emphasis for me was having a veteran, a champion in that garage who could help Bubba Wallace basically every day. Kurt Busch, it's no secret, he is getting up there in age. He has been in the Cup Series for a long time. He is getting closer and closer to his Cup Series career coming to a close. We don't know how many days he has left or how many years he has left in him. We don't know how many wins he has left in him, but we know that he is still competitive and he still wants to win in the NASCAR Cup Series. And with Denny Hamlin still racing for Joe Gibbs Racing at a separate place, at a separate building, with a separate team, he's not always there to help Bubba Wallace and the 23XI team. Obviously, he's a co-owner, so he's behind the scenes doing work. He is there helping, so it's not to discredit Denny Hamlin, but the fact of the matter is that he still has other things to do at Joe Gibbs Racing as he is a driver. But Kurt Busch, because he is now going to be a driver for 23XI Racing, a full-time driver, he's going to be able to be there every step of the way and help Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace, obviously a young driver who is going to be the future of that team. That is the hope for them. So yeah, Kurt Busch is going to be able to help that. But obviously, aside from that, that is probably their long-term goal. The short-term goal is going to be, that's huge for 23XI Racing, to get a champion, to get Kurt Busch into that second seat. Kurt Busch is a tremendous driver. It does not matter where he has gone. He has improved every team he has been a part of, it seems like. Obviously, early in his career, he had his struggles off the track. He had some issues, but it seems like in the last decade or so, he has really put himself together and has made himself not just a better race car driver, but a better person. And the Kurt Busch story is one that people are starting to love. He is becoming a very well-liked driver. Many people like him. Many fans like him. When he wins, it makes people happy. And so over the past few years, we've seen this change in Kurt Busch. When he won the Daytona 500 in 2017 with SHR, he showed emotion and people were happy for him. When he won with Chip Ganassi Racing in 2019 at Kentucky, the emotion that he showed, the emotion the fans gave him. When he won at his home track, the emotion. Every single win to him is important and is just as important as his first win, his second win, his 10th win, his 20th win. All these wins that Kurt Busch has had in recent years have been so big to him, so emotional for him. You always see the emotion for him. Obviously, this year with Chip Ganassi Racing closing its doors after the 2021 season, just weeks later, or maybe even the same week, Kurt Busch goes and wins at Atlanta in dominating fashion. And, he's saying, this may be the last one for Chip Ganassi Racing, but we want to get more. But Kurt Busch, really good driver. He's improved so much as a driver and a person over the past few years, and he's improved all the teams he's been with. We look at Furniture Row. He got Furniture Row their first chase appearance in 2013. We go to Stewart-Haas Racing. He was winning with them right off the bat. And in his first year with Stewart-Haas Racing, they won a championship with Kevin Harvick. He won a Daytona 500 for Stewart-Haas Racing. And then later on, obviously, he moved to Chip Ganassi Racing. Now, Chip Ganassi Racing was doing good. They were winning races with Kyle Larson. But the one team with Jamie McMurray, they had struggled the past few years before Kurt got there. And when Kurt got there, they were doing great. They were having consistent top 10 runs, even in the top 5. And then they won Kentucky in 2019. In 2020, they won at Las Vegas and made it to the round of 8. So he helped everyone in the organization at Chip Ganassi Racing take a step up from what they were before. They were winning races. They were consistently competing for top 5s and top 10s. And obviously they made a deep playoff run with Kurt Busch in 2020 to the round of 8. And the year before, in 2019, they made a deep run in the playoffs with Kyle Larson. So obviously Kurt Busch has been a tremendous help no matter where he's gone in recent years, it seems like. So this was a no-brainer for 23XI. Obviously, when this rumor came out, this was before the Chip Ganassi news that they were shutting down, that they were going to sell their team to Trackhouse. But obviously, Kurt Busch is a full-blown. He was a free agent to begin with, but now he has to go somewhere else because Chip Ganassi is shutting down, and they are no longer going to be a team. And Trackhouse signed Chastain to drive the second car. After that, we basically knew Kurt Busch is going to be in the 23XI second car because they had been talking. And if Kurt Busch wasn't going to Trackhouse, then it was bound to be Chastain. But yeah, let's look at some of the quotes from the day. Obviously, 23XI races on their 11 Racing on their post. They said, "We got our guy." And Kurt Busch, this is what he had to say. "I cannot begin to express my gratitude for this opportunity. Racing to win is what I live for. Helping to continue developing a new team alongside Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin, and Toyota is exactly what I want to be a part of." Denny Hamlin then, he said, "Kurt brings a wealth of knowledge and a championship mindset to our team and will be able to help us grow stronger and more competitive each and every week." Obviously, as I said, Kurt Busch, a champion, a veteran, a longtime veteran in the NASCAR Cup Series. He's been winning races for all different types of teams. So this is going to be a tremendous help for 23XI as a whole. He's going to help them, hopefully help that organization take a step up. So this is big news, obviously, for them. Big for Kurt Busch in his career. And I think this is the first time he's driven a Toyota. He's driven every manufacturer there's been in NASCAR. A Dodge, a Ford, a Toyota, or not now it's going to be a Toyota, but a Ford, a Dodge, a Chevrolet, obviously. But yeah, I think this is a really good move for 23XI Racing. Why the number 45, you may ask? Why not, number 32 or something? Michael Jordan, when he was in the NBA, after his first retirement, he retired in the early 90s, and then he came back a couple of years later. Michael Jordan wore the number 45 on his jersey rather than his famous number 23, so that is probably I'm going to guess that's why they chose number 45. Obviously, the number 11 in the 23XI belongs to Denny Hamlin, who races at Joe Gibbs Racing in the number 11, so that 11 is not available, so they had to go with another option. But yes, I mean, overall, this is a really good move for Kurt Busch. 23XI, we knew that they weren't going to come out of the gates winning a ton of races, being a championship threat right off the bat. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if they were going to win a race this year. We didn't know if they were going to make the playoffs. We didn't know how good they were going to be, but we definitely did not expect a championship caliber team right off the bat. Well, now with 1 year under their belt, they have struggled at times, but they have shown flashes of potential. Bubba Wallace has shown that he has flashes of potential. The team has shown it as well, that they can build a car that has speed. But overall, it has not been the greatest season, but it is still a first-year team, and they're not doing too bad for a first-year team. They have to win to make the playoffs. I think they're 21st in the standings right now, but after having a year under their belt, having a team that's made race cars together now, Bubba Wallace and Mike Wheeler having a relationship there, that is going to help tremendously. That's going to help improve its team. But now having Kurt Busch, that champion, that veteran, that guy who has helped improve other teams, that is going to be another step up for this organization. So overall, they are looking like they are having a lot of positives right now. Hopefully they can take this momentum into Daytona, maybe try to get that win to get them into the playoffs, or at least get a good run. But next gen car next year, hopefully they can. Everyone's got a new playbook for the cars, for the teams. Everything's going to be new next year. So, for 23-11, you're hoping that you can come out of the gate as fast as you can, and that you can hit a home run right off the bat. Maybe, I don't know, some cheesy saying out there that I could have said, but that's the hope. Obviously for 23-11 is that they can. With Kurt Busch, obviously his experience, his knowledge of NASCAR, the Cup Series, he can help Bubba Wallace and also the 23 team, help them take a step up so that the organization as a whole can have success next year. But hopefully he can win races. Kurt Busch can win races with 23-11. Hopefully Bubba Wallace, that is their hope, that he can win races next year. But I think this will be interesting. It'll be fun to watch. Obviously, the next-gen car, we got the confirmation of the numbers being moved. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments about that. People are going to be furious. Oh, how dare they move the numbers? But, just looking at the picture, it's like they got so much room on the back of the car. They didn't really need to move the number. But you know what, NASCAR, I don't even know why I bothered to do it, to get angry at it. But, it's obviously a good move for Kurt Busch. It's a good move for 23-11. I keep on saying that, but it really is. I think this is going to help improve the organization as a whole. I don't know how good they're going to be next year, but they are going to be better than this year, I think. A two-car organization. I don't know where they got the charter from. I don't know if they're going to run as a open team, but I do expect them to do well, and I expect Kurt Busch to be a major factor in that change to help elevate that program, to elevate that organization. So to basically wrap up this video, Kurt Busch to 23-11 is a win-win for both sides. Kurt Busch is going to go to a car, obviously a new team, but is probably going to be much improved from this year. The next-gen car gives everyone a clean slate, everyone an equal opportunity to go and try to win races, to try to go and be competitive. So hopefully Kurt Busch can come out of the gate as fast as he can, go out and try to compete for wins right off the bat. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think he will help this team improve their cars, improve everything about this organization. They've only got a few top 10s this year. Well, I think he could elevate that to maybe consistently competing for top 10s. But as for wins, I don't know, but hopefully Kurt Busch can help develop this team into getting some wins. But that's everything I've got on Kurt Busch to 23-11. As I said, it was rumored a while ago, a couple of months ago. We talked about it then. We talked about it now, obviously. We said some of the same things. I might have said some different things back then. But, Kurt Busch, I think this is a great move. I don't know how many years he has left, but hopefully they're competitive. Hopefully he can get himself some wins. Hopefully he can help out 23-11, help the youth. But I don't know how many other teams 23-11 is going to have. I don't know if they're going to expand to a third or fourth car quickly, but it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a NASCAR fan with all these new teams, these new team owners, these new drivers, and now Kurt Busch moving to a new team in the number 45 Monster Energy Camry. That's weird to say, Kurt Busch and a Toyota, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. That would help me out a ton. Subscribe to the channel for NASCAR news. We continue our championship series tomorrow. We will continue to talk about Ryan Blaney, his championship case, and then in the night we will talk about the Daytona race and the playoffs. Maybe Bubba Wallace can get a win and lock himself into the playoffs for 23-11. That would be big for that team. But hope you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your night and have a great weekend.